Let me tell you what's coming up on the show. Abrego Garcia's wife is changing her story. She's changing her story. Also, Bondi is suing Maine. Pam Bondi is suing Maine, which I'm all for. Go Pam.
Yep.
Go Pam.
Yeah.
Go Pam. Patty Morin. You guys. Yesterday was breaking everybody's hearts. We're going to talk about that. And then the backlash against the chicks in space. It's getting completely hilarious. I'm all about that. All that and so much more coming up on the show today. Hold on. I don't have the right things open. I've got to get my crap together. Okay. You guys, you can check out all the things at www.chicksontheright.com/links. And please click subscribe to this podcast. Please just click the button. Also, have you started your morning with Blackout Coffee? It's bold. It's unapologetic, just like us. You should totally start your morning with Blackout. You can do that. You can visit blackoutcoffee.com/chicks. Use code chicks at checkout. Get 20% off. It's good stuff, you guys. It's the best. Keep you fueled.
It's good stuff.
What's happening? What's going on? What's shaking? What's kicking?
Can we start with a moment of privilege, of personal privilege?
Here it is, you guys. Here it is. The moment you've been waiting for.
I have so much good news to share. So first of all, my son Thomas, who's in ICU, had a really, really great day yesterday. They are looking at releasing him back home straight from ICU, which is the perfect scenario, by late Friday, I would imagine. And he's doing great. Everything is looking good. All of his everything is really, really good. He had a great day and his doctor is precious and so kind. And they totally listened to me, which is this even American healthcare? Like when doctors listen to you, it was crazy. But I said, can we please leave him in ICU so that he continues to get checked on at least once an hour? Because, like on the regular floors, maybe they come in every 4 to 5 hours. And with him, when he's not with anybody that knows him, that's bad. Like for him to only get checked on like every few hours, it's not okay. So in ICU, it's once an hour. They're checking on him constantly, and they will release him straight from there to home, which is the best possible scenario. So that's really, really good news. And then my youngest son came home last night. I still haven't seen him, but he's here and sleeping, and I'm super excited about that. And you guys, I'm getting a new knee.
She's so excited about her new knee, you guys.
I'm getting so
excited. It's crazy because my husband scheduled he's getting a new knee the same on her birthday, which is June 25th. Which is
crazy. And I was weird. Like a little bit hurt about it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it's one thing that he gets to have it before me.
But on your birthday, yeah. It's like happy birthday.
That's a bunch of bull crap right there.
Right. Happy birthday to Mock. He's getting a new knee on June 25th. That was something that we discovered a couple days ago. And she was like, that's not fair. He's getting a new knee before me. And then she heard from her doctor that she's getting a new knee on June 16th, right? June 16th, which is like exactly the week before, like the Monday before. Greg's getting one on a Wednesday. She's getting hers the Monday before. So I think it was like a mad dash to see who is going to get a knee first, and she wins.
I just can't believe it because I didn't think that they would let me until late summer. And so the fact that I get to have it so soon is amazing, and I'm just super excited. I know I shouldn't be this excited about something that's going to cause me immense pain, but I know that when I get to the other side of that pain, hopefully I will be able to do the normal things.
Be able to walk,
climb upstairs, and oh my god,
right?
Just so excited. So anyway,
that's happening.
I had to share all of my good news because there's just a whole big bunch of it. But let's get into the things in the stuff because you'll notice that I am wearing my Easter shirt.
Oh my God, so cute. I have to be on the lookout for mine. I got to go to my post office today.
So cute. And there is a special an Easter weekend sale at inreallifecreations.etsy.com. You can get 15% off with code EasterChicks this weekend. That starts tomorrow. But I wanted to make sure to give you the update. And so I wore this one day early. So make sure to check out our friend Carrie and her amazing shop with all of the Chicks merch because it's super fun. All right, let's get into news. So we talked yesterday a little bit about Ashley St. Clair and the ridiculous amount of money that Elon Musk was going to pay her if she would not have revealed that Romulus is his son. She obviously wanted even more money than that. So she's picking a fight and she wants to tell everybody that it's Elon's son. And so now she's like suing him for all kinds of more money. And now there's this big battle. And as you remember, early on, she was like, please give us privacy.
I need privacy.
About this.
I need the privacy.
Totally Meghan Markling it. And so in an effort to stay private, she did a big layout, a big spread with the Wall Street Journal. Photos, interviews.
Right.
The whole 9 yards. So in that expose, by the way, well, it's not even expose because she participated. So in that spread for the Wall Street Journal, in the article, it talked about how he's giving her all of this money, but it's not enough. So she said on Friday, Ashley didn't receive her scheduled child support payment. Late on Tuesday, she said Musk's team sent her $20,000, which is half of whatever her normal stipend is. And so her lawyer said the timing of the reduction in payments from him are timed with disagreements on testing and gag orders. The only conclusion we can make is that money is being weaponized. And they say that her legal fees have already exceeded $240,000, which should not be hard to pay for when she's getting this much money.
Right. Especially when she had $2.5 million up front. And
right,
got $100,000. What was it? $100,000 a month.
Well, that's if she would have agreed to not saying that he was the dad.
I'm sorry. The 2.5 million wasn't enough. I'm sorry.
But he did. Remember, he said that he gave her like an exorbitant amount, like probably a few $1 million.
Yeah.
Just at the beginning. So I don't know. She's. I don't think she's hurting, but she definitely wants attention.
Learn to invest, lady.
That's right.
Lord.
That is exactly right. We also talked yesterday about Harvard and the fact that the Trump administration has pulled their federal funding. And there was talk about the IRS perhaps removing their tax exempt status. Oh, I forgot to show you this tweet too, that back in the day, Ashley had said about some basketball player that was having to pay $200,000 a month in child support. And she was like, no child costs $200,000 a month to raise.
until you have sexual relations with a billionaire. And then all of a sudden they do. Oh, surprise. That's crazy.
Then all of a sudden kids are so expensive, man.
Super expensive. Yeah.
But anyway, back to the IRS and Harvard. That is actually a thing that's happening. So CNN reported yesterday that the IRS is making plans to rescind the tax exempt status of Harvard University. And this would be kind of amazing. We'll see how that works out. But I hope you got your glasses ready because you're about to read a very long tweet from President Trump.
Okay, here we go.
Here it is.
All right. Everybody knows that Harvard has lost its way. They hired from New York, Bill D, and Chicago, Lori L, at ridiculously high salaries fees, two of the worst and most incompetent mayors in the history of our country to teach municipal management and government. These two radical left fools left behind two cities that will take years to recover from their incompetence and evil. Harvard has been hiring almost all woke, radical left idiots and bird brains who are only capable of teaching failure to students and so-called future leaders. Look just to the recent past at their plagiarizing president, who so greatly embarrassed Harvard before the United States Congress. When it got so bad that they just couldn't take it anymore, they moved this grossly inept woman into another position, teaching, rather than firing her on the spot. Since then, much else has been found out about her, but she remains in place. Many others, like these leftist dopes, are teaching at Harvard. And because of that, Harvard can no longer be considered even a decent place of learning and should not be considered on any list of the world's greatest universities or colleges. Harvard's a joke, teaches hate and stupidity, and should no longer receive federal funds. Thank you for your attention to this matter. They're one of so many universities that shouldn't be receiving federal funding. Like, we shouldn't be paying for this garbage. Why are we paying for this?
I don't know.
So absurd.
Do not know. But
especially
when I love that he ended it. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
But especially when they get money from so many other sources and they're tax exempt. Like,
And they keep
it.
raising their tuition rates. So, like, what
Right.
is tuition paying for if not to run the freaking university?
Well, all the DEI people that are there,
Yeah.
and all of the administrators. And there's like, that's one of the things we talked about on this show. What is it like? A lot of these universities, they have like one administrator for every student at this point. It's just
insane.
It's so crazy. They got to stop it.
They got to stop it. They have got to stop it. Also, we need to talk just really, really briefly about what happened with the stock market yesterday. Jerome Powell came out from the Fed and was like, everything is awful and tariffs are awful and everything is doom and gloom. And so naturally, because he said that, the stock market dropped 700 points. And so you might be wondering, how might that be affecting my retirement plans? And we have great news for you. We've got a guy for that. Our friend, Zach Abraham from Bulwark Capital Management, is happy to sit down with you, go over your portfolio, make suggestions, look at it, give you a second opinion if you already have a financial advisor, and then perhaps you will fall in love with him as we did and make him your financial advisor. You can do this for absolutely free. You can schedule a free risk portfolio review at knowyourriskradio.com. That's knowyourriskradio.com.
Advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security. Any references to performance of securities are thought to be materially accurate, and actual performance may differ. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 24308.
All right, let's move on to Letitia James, because this is, of course, a story that we talked about yesterday when the news broke that the DOJ was going to be investigating Letitia James. And now we have a little bit more detail about the charges, like the potential charges that might be in play here. Here's a little Fox News report about what's going on with Letitia James. Couldn't happen to a nice woman.
James, for both properties listed above, this deals with real estate now, going back decades, really, appears to have falsified records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms, all right? Her office responded by saying the AG James is focused every single day on protecting New Yorkers. Specialist administration weaponizes the federal government against the rule of law and the Constitution. She will not be intimidated by bullies, no matter who they are.
Okay.
The issue here is what property she owned and whether or not she owned it, whether or not she was married, and whether or not her father was involved in all this. Without going into the weeds of the details, this stems from a case in 1983 and the year 2000. That's a minimum of 25 years.
Oh, damn.
I love this story so much. You have no idea.
Oh my
This
God,
is
it's
like-
delicious.
Well, it is. It's so delicious. When we talk about karma, this is what I'm talking about. And this has been
Yes.
swift. And I hope she goes to jail for this. You know?
And they cannot use the whole Trump is weaponizing the
No.
Department of Justice. He's literally doing exactly what they set the precedent for.
Yep.
And so if they're going to try to say this was forever ago and this is like these are just these minor infractions, well, let's take a look at the tape, shall we? Let's look at what Trump's charges were and how long they were ago.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Exactly.
Well, she's mad. She's big.
Oh, I bet
mad.
she is. I bet she is mad. It's hard to have the magnifying glass put on you, isn't it?
She's the one that wanted to play this game. Well, now it's being played. But here she is yesterday, fighting mad. She's fighting back.
Mission is clear. I'm focused. I'm prepared.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right.
I've been trained by the best. I went to Howard University that overturned legal segregation in this country.
Well, okay.
I've been taught in those classrooms where Thurgood Marshall once taught. I'm not afraid of no president. Donald Trump, we're ready for you. We're coming for you.
Yeah.
We're standing up for you. We're fighting on. We're not going down silent. Victory, my friends, is clear. It's now. And I'm not waiting 4 years. I'm waiting 2 until a speaker by the name of Hakeem Jeffries comes to bring us some rest. Come on, ladies. It's up to us. We saved this democracy before. We'll save it now. Let's go.
Talking about what the hell is this broad talking about? She's like, I'm afraid, and not afraid of no president, but you're afraid of grammar, apparently. What an idiot this woman is.
Does she have a wonky eye, or did I just make that up?
I think it's wonky.
There's a little wonk going on there.
I think there may be. She, like you said, she wanted to play the game, and now she's trying to flip the game table. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, we're going to sit down and we're going to play the game until the game is done. We're going to play.
I freaking love it so much.
So great.
And our friend Mike Davis, this is an older clip. Okay. This is a flashback clip, but this is a clip from when he was on the Benny show not long ago when he was talking about Letitia James. And now that all of this is happening, it's just even more delicious to watch this little flashback. Behold.
To Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General, I dare you. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term. Because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison.
He means it. He means it.
I just cannot love that any harder.
Yeah, we really like him. Yep.
Big Tish James.
Hashtag Big Tish. Yep. Yeah.
All right. Switching gears, because of course this opening segment is always about catching you up on other stories that we've covered routinely over the last couple weeks. And one of those things is these just constant court cases, crazy activist judges, insane lawsuits against the Trump administration. So I mean, it's insane. I'm going to have you read another Trump tweet. So get ready.
Can't wait. I'm so excited.
But essentially, what you need to know is that back in Biden's presidency, he authorized all at once, by the stroke of his pen, for 530,000 illegals to come over the border, to be shipped here, essentially, without proper vetting.
Right.
And now, because Trump wanted to undo that action with the swipe of a pen and say, those 530 people that Biden gave access to our country to, we're going to de-access them. They're not going to have any kind of protected status. We're getting them the heck out of there. And now all of a sudden, courts are like, but you got to vet them first. I mean, and I'm like, how do they not see how backwards their thinking is? They should have been vetted first.
Because they're liberals.
That's God.
Because they're liberal judges. These are liberal people. And it's a mental disorder. That's how.
Oh my God. So here is Trump's tweet. Please read this.
Okay. Can you believe it? A judge ruled against us on 530,000 illegal migrants that Joe Biden flew over the border in his program to transport illegals into the country by airplane, saying that they can't be looked at as a group, but that each case has to be tried individually. We got to pay for that too, you guys. Based on the court system, that would take approximately 100 years. What is going on with our courts? They are totally out of control. They seem to hate Trump so much that anything goes. We are trying to bring our country back from the destruction caused by the Democrats and crooked Joe Biden. I won on a policy of common sense. And what common sense do we have when we have to have 530,000 trials? This radicalized judge is saying that sleepy Joe Biden can fly more than 500,000 illegals into America in one day. But we have to hold many years of long and tedious trials to fly each and every one of them back home. Where's the justice here? Apparently the justice is they give more of a crap about these illegals than they do about actual Americans. They don't give a shit about American citizens. And you guys, if this is the hill they want to die on, let them die on it.
It's incredible.
They'll continue to lose. We're paying attention to this. I hope everybody is paying attention to this. I know I am, and I know the people around me are. And we're seeing what's happening. I know we're going to be talking about that a lot today, about who's going to El Salvador to help these poor people. And then what? And then who are they ignoring? And at what expense is it? The American tax. We are sick and tired of this crap.
Yep. Absolutely sick and tired of it. And we will have a lot more about Abrego Garcia and the ridiculous congressional actions about that in just a second. But just to stay on this path of like lawfare and ridiculous lawsuits and all of the obstruction that Democrats are engaging in just to try to stop Trump from doing the right thing by Americans. We now have Gavin Newsom filing a brand new lawsuit
Oh my God.
on the Trump administration because he's mad about tariffs hurting California. He can hurt California all he wants. But when tariffs potentially threaten California, then all of a sudden he's big mad and he's got to sue about it. Here's Gavin.
Today, I announced a lawsuit on behalf of the state of California suing the Trump administration. California is the largest manufacturing state in our union, one of the largest trading partners around the globe. No state will be impacted more than the state of California as it relates to the unilateral authority that's being asserted by the Trump administration to impose the largest tax increase in modern American history.
He cares about taxes now, tax increases.
You guys, you cannot make this up. And then it like yesterday, he was like, "Oh, by the way, I need taxpayers to foot the bill for $2.8 billion. Is it billion? Yes, billion with a B. I'm sorry, I lose track. Is it billion, million, trillion? I don't know. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. He doesn't care because it's just your money, right? He just wants to keep taking more of your money, but he wants you to foot the bill for that. Those are taxes.
Yeah. And usually Democrats are all about increasing taxes, right? Increase taxes because that's an increase of revenues. And now all of a sudden he's worried. He's worried about tax increases.
Oh no, it's the taxes are too much because Trump. You cannot make this up.
You can't.
Wow.
You can't.
Okay.
I mean, he has so dragged that state into the abyss. And it's such a shame because it's such a beautiful, beautiful state.
Well, it was. And he's like, seriously, it was. And then he has destroyed it. I cannot believe that with the fires, that didn't just completely nail his coffin shut.
I know.
I figured this is going to be it, right? This is it.
And then he started a podcast.
There is no hope for the left when that happens. And they're like, oh, he's still great. He's still great. And he's still doing the shimmy when he does interviews. Have you
what's the hand motion that he does? Like there's this weird,
like he does his Gavin Illuminati crap, what he does. It's crazy. Hopeless when these people still think that he is somehow adept at his job. He is a loser.
But California is still beautiful in part because of everything that grows there. And if you want your yard to be as beautiful as California, you need to go to fastgrowingtrees.com/ I'm still trying to decide, and of course trying to convince my husband that we need to plant indoor fruit. Yeah. This is my new thing. I'm like kind of on a tear about it.
You didn't see my roses last week when you were gone. You didn't see my roses. My roses are amazing. They're gorgeous. Like I don't do anything to them and they just grow and grow and grow and they're gorgeous and they're red and they're spectacular. I'm telling you, it's because of these people. Like you don't have to be good at growing to grow anything.
You don't. I mean, we do not have green thumbs. The two of us. Not at all.
Thing about it. Yeah.
But they make it so easy. They make everything so easy. They have such a beautiful selection. This is why they have 2 million plus happy customers. They're the largest online nursery. And I love not having to go to a nursery, pick out something that has dirt and it's, maybe in a pot, maybe not. And you get it all over your car and that's no fun. This comes right to your door, shipped really nicely, lots of instructions to help you understand exactly how and where to plant. And it just makes it so easy. And they have the best selection. Right now, of course, is prime growing time. So you can get it's growing time. So you can get 50% off selected plants at fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks. Plus, when you use our code CHICKS, you get an extra 15% off your first purchase. So check out all the amazing things that you can grow at fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks. Speaking of California, let's just take a look at this complete loser who is running for, I think, the 23rd district as a congressional, as a hopeful congressional Democrat. Her name is Alexis Claiborne, and she is a complete moron who's big.
Who do you think is the current leader of the Democratic Party?
I think AOC. I think she should be, at least.
Would you like to see her run for president in 2028?
I would love to see her run for president in 2028.
What do you think is the best policy AOC has had passed?
That's a great question. I don't know.
How do you feel about biological men competing in women's sports?
I personally would ask anybody that is asking about trans women in sports, ask them to name 6 female athletes, because nobody gave a shit about, sorry.
You can say whatever you want. We're fully uncensored.
Okay. Nobody gave a shit about female athletes or women's sports until the transgender issues started coming to the forefront.
But you yourself, how do you feel about it despite asking anyone else?
I myself feel that it's 12 people that people are super upset about, and I don't think that we should be upset about that. I think that we have bigger fish to fry, and that we should be focusing on closing these tax loopholes for corporations and making sure that the ultra-rich and corporations are paying their fair share rather than these identity politics.
So you're saying trans women should be allowed to compete in sports?
Yes.
What a moron. Oh
yeah,
my God.
That's total talking points. Says the woman who's never played a sport in her life. It's blatantly obvious, lady. Yeah, and I just total talking points.
Well, and the whole but I hadn't heard the talking point about, well, if you can't name female athletes, then you don't get to care about them. What?
Yeah,
what in the world?
Nobody cared about women's sports until transgenders tried to bust in on women's sports. Okay, all right. Yeah, but the loophole, like all that vernacular that it's like it's all pulled from it's all talking points. She has no idea what she's saying. She has no idea what she's saying. None.
Mm-mm. But good luck, California. I don't know where the 23rd district is, but just come get your girl.
and good luck, AOC. I hope AOC does run. I hope.
Oh my God.
I know that there's some people who are afraid of that, but man, I want it. Bring it on. I want that to happen so bad. I want her to run for president against like a JD Vance. I want to see a debate between the two of them. I want there to be that stark of a contrast between conservatives and liberals, because that's our contrast. It is like normal and crazy. That's where we are.
I know, but I mean, look at all the people that are coming out to see her that buy into the crazy.
Yeah, normal and crazy.
Yikes. We are learning more and more about the Pennsylvania arsonist who set Josh Shapiro's mansion on fire while he and his family were in it. And it is this creepy looking dude who is a Marxist who apparently did it to save Palestine, and because he didn't like the fact that Governor Shapiro is a Jew. Surprise! So apparently there's video of him scaling the security fences, using a hammer to break windows, climbed inside to throw around the Molotov cocktails. And so he said specifically that the motive was Palestine. And no one should be surprised about this, because leftists are crazy, violent psychopaths. Okay. And we've got a multitude of examples now. And what's really unfortunate is that instead of using this opportunity, Josh Shapiro could have defended Jews, could have spoken out against, anti-Semitism. And instead he wouldn't even make a comment about this guy. I don't know what the motivation here is, but he basically said, I know there are people out there who want to ascribe their own viewpoints as to what happened here and why. I choose not to participate in that.
Yeah, well, you're a big wuss.
My God.
Yeah, I that's unacceptable.
It's so lame.
It is. What a wuss he is. He's not strong. And shame on him, man. This is the thing. It's a Democrat thing. Like they're so afraid of these people. They're so afraid. Okay, let's see where fear will get you. What it gets you is your freaking house burning down. That's okay.
And it'll be more of the same, because if you're not taking a strong stand about this and calling out and condemning these psychopaths, you are part of the problem.
Really, if you're not taking a strong stand about everything, that's what happens. I don't like it when people are just mamby-pamby about things. This is why I don't like it when people are like, I'm in the middle. I just don't know. I don't have a thought about anything. This is why I get pissy about it. Take a stand, pick a lane. Yeah. It's like, this is why you look weak when you don't pick a lane. Pick one.
Well, and two, if you have not heard any news reports about a high school shooting that took place in Dallas, there's a good reason for that. Media does not want to cover it because it wasn't like a white male shooter. The Dallas school shooter has been identified. He turned himself in. This is a kid by the name of Tracy Haynes Jr. And he got into the school through an unsecured door from another student inside opening it for him. He pulled a gun. He opened fire in the hallway, hit 5 kids. They are okay, as far as I know. Have you heard anything otherwise?
I think as of yesterday, they were okay, but it's still, I mean, I don't know. As of this morning, it could be different, but as of yesterday, they were okay. I'm so sick about this because the other day I heard that this had happened, a couple days ago, and there was nothing. I live in Texas. There's I'm trying to get on Twitter. I'm trying to get information about this. They're not talking about this. No one's talking about this. And are they going to start a GoFundMe for this kid? Are they
probably
for his family?
Yeah, probably.
They're going to buy his family a new house. Is that what we're going to do now?
And don't put it past our culture.
Right.
Do not put it past, because speaking of that, the Karmelo Anthony, we talked about them yesterday, this ridiculous GoFundMe, the house, the car. I mean, all of it. It's insane.
It is.
And because they are such freaking disgusting pieces of crap, they are now selling t-shirts. They've set up a website selling t-shirts with this killer's face on them, and they're selling them. This is actually being sold. Justice for Mello, they call him.
And people are buying it. People are buying it. Oh my God.
It's so vile.
It is vile. It's absolutely.
And they're treating him like a celebrity, and in fact, even releasing on social media POV videos. So they released a point of view video of what it was like when he left his bail bond releasing moment, right? And so you will see a reporter chasing after him to ask him some very good questions. He doesn't answer. Of course, he's got all of his bodyguards. He gets into this fancy black SUV. But the fact that he is the one releasing these videos just makes it even
it's
grosser.
Even worse. It's worse. Oh. It's our society makes celebrities out of murderers.
Yeah, it's just disgusting. This is
killers. And he's young. Somebody's guiding him. And somebody, listen, somewhere along the line, something went wrong with this kid. Okay. Cause he's a kid. Let's just get real. And somewhere along the line, in his brain, he thought it was okay to bring a knife to a track meet and stab another kid in the heart. That was horrible to begin with. He learned from somebody that was okay. And now he's got a bunch of adults parading him around, making t-shirts, shuffling him into SUVs, buying houses, buying cars with the legal fun, and making him out to be a celebrity. And this is what they're doing with this kid. He's so far gone, you guys. Our society is so far gone. I'm so disgusted by this. Everybody should be disgusted by this. I don't care what your color is. I don't care. I don't care how much melanin this kid has in his skin. It doesn't matter. This is so gross.
Well, thank goodness that there are reporters who actually try. I mean, he didn't answer these questions, but props to whoever this reporter is in this ridiculous video that he released for trying to get him to respond to questions that he should be responding to. You'll see her later in this video.
All right. Come on, man. Just follow back behind us.
All those adults should be ashamed of themselves. All of them.
Just stay close, okay?
Gross.
Do you have anything that you'd like to say, Karmelo? Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school?
Great question.
Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Karmelo, is there anything you want to say to the community that's donated?
Yeah. But he can't talk to the victim because he stabbed him in the heart, and he's not here anymore. So there's really nothing you can say to him. He's a murderer. He's a murderer, and I cannot believe that we're making celebrities out of murderers and grifters. We've got to stop this nonsense. It's gross,
it's out
you guys.
of control. I thought it had ended back in the Boston bomber days when we put him on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. Not ending, still a problem. We've got all the crazy ladies that write, death row inmates letters, and it doesn't make sense to me. These women do not make sense to me.
Right. And his dad is a pastor. What kind of a pastor is that?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Would you like to tell the audience about this amazing product?
I would love to tell the audience about dose, you guys. It's natural. It's clinically supported. It helps your liver, you guys. Now, I have some liver issues. It's the second largest organ in your body. It's responsible for 500 functions. That's a lot of work. It does a lot.
I didn't know that was the second biggest organ.
Your liver is the second largest organ, responsible for over 500 functions. It filters toxins, producing cholesterol, storing nutrients. It supports digestion and metabolism. I love this stuff. It eases bloat. I've blown through like 3 bottles of it. It boosts energy, and it tastes really good. It supports digestion. We have a testimonial from Christine Nunes. She says, Daisy Mock, about 2 years ago or so, I'd gotten a test result saying my triglycerides were over 450. I was also told that I had fatty liver. I started doing all the things I was supposed to do to fix it and control my high blood pressure. And one of the things I did was I started taking dose. I can't tell you how much that helped me. Less than a year later, when I went back to the doctor, I was told that my triglycerides were significantly lower. Today, they're below 120, so 450 to 120.
Wow.
And it looked like my liver was healing itself. I would admit that I was doing all the right things as far as losing weight, exercising, eating better, but I absolutely believe that taking dose daily really helped me. I hadn't taken it in months now, but I absolutely go back and get it again. It can't hurt that the orange flavor is delicious. It is really good. Though I've collected 5 of their little metal shot glasses, so that won't be necessary this time. It truly helps. Be well, Christine. It's awesome stuff, you guys. 1 dose shot equals 17 shots of turmeric. Care for your liver with Dose Liver Help. Just save 30%. You can save 30% off your first month of subscription by going to dosedaily.co/chicks and entering C at checkout. That's dosedaily.co, not com, but co/chicks for 30% off. You guys try it. It's good stuff. Really good stuff.
Thank you for allowing me to be Vanna during that.
Was that good? We just go like this. Good.
All right. Let's talk about Abrego Garcia. Everybody is. So we talked to you yesterday about the fact that there were Andy No had uncovered previous court cases where the wife of Abrego Garcia had asked for a protective order against him because he engaged in domestic violence. And so we're starting to learn more about that. Apparently those allegations of domestic violence were made more than one time. She actually had a couple of different orders of protection that she sought against him. He punched, he scratched, he ripped off her shirt. And so he is not like this upstanding Maryland man that the media wants to, show him as. Not at all. In fact, according to Fox News, who got the written domestic violence allegations that she hand wrote, she said, and I quote, "At this point, I'm afraid to be close to him. I have multiple photos and videos of how violent he can be and all the bruises he has left me." She said that he punched and scratched her on the eye, leaving her bleeding after throwing her laptop on the floor. He got angry another day, started yelling, ripped her shirt and shorts off, grabbed her arm, left marks. He hit her 2 times in 2020. This is not a good guy, you guys.
Seems like a super nice man, family man. Okay.
But now, because she's been all over TV going, I love he's the best dad. He's such a good husband, blah. She's been on all kinds of CNN interviews. And now, because all of this has come out, she is now saying, well, I had a previous relationship that included domestic violence. So I'm just trying to be cautious And because things did not escalate, she said, I decided not to follow through with the civil court process. We were able to work through this privately as a family, going to counseling. Our marriage only grew stronger in the years that followed. No one's perfect and no marriage is perfect. And none of this is justification for what ICE has done. This is what she's saying.
No, but the MS-13 is.
Well, yeah. And the fact that there's a whole new allegation that he was apparently stopped by the police in Tennessee, having 7 people in a van that he was transporting from Texas to Maryland. So they got caught in Tennessee. The Tennessee police contact the FBI. They say, hey, look this guy up. It seems like he's human trafficking here.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on? Joe Biden's FBI was like, nah, that's fine. Let me go.
Well, Joe Biden's FBI, they were totally all about human trafficking. Hello.
I mean, this is really bad. Now, I will say that there's a possibility, okay, because, you know, it looks bad. She's raising money, of course, on Give, Send, Go or GoFundMe or whatever. She wants money.
Of course.
She's raised, I think it's almost at $200,000 now, last I saw.
Again, with the grifting.
It's ridiculous. But we can't rule out completely the possibility that MS-13 is setting her up to do that. Like, it's possible she legit is afraid, and maybe she's even glad that Garcia is now back in El Salvador, but she's got MS-13 members telling her, you better talk good about him or we'll kill you.
Could be MS-13, could be the DNC.
Right. You just don't know.
Could be
I don't know her motivations.
It could be somebody at the DNC that wrote that speech for her. I don't know. But I definitely don't think it was her. That's what I think. I don't think anything that she's saying is genuine.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's MS-13. I don't know if it's the DNC. I don't know who it is. I don't know, but I don't think it's her. I don't think I think it's a total grift, whatever it is. I don't trust anyone at this point. None of these people. Somebody saying, yeah, she's afraid. She could be, I guess, you know, whatever. But then why would you be afraid? Because MS-13 probably is involved somehow. Well, why is that? And then if people say, oh, well, he's not involved with MS-13. Oh, really? It's like,
well, and we'll get to the new evidence about that, because there's new evidence that Pam Bondi and the Justice Department released showing that, yes, clearly he's an MS-13 member. And we'll get to that. But first we have to make fun of Christopher Van Hollen, the reason for my name today. What a complete slimeball this guy is. Senator from Maryland who could not give 2 craps about the Morin family at all, who is actually a constituent. Patty Morin is his constituent. And her daughter was murdered, not by this illegal, but by another one. And he does not care. What he cares about is going to frickin' El Salvador to try to rescue an MS-13 gang member. And he was so into it, you guys, that all along his journey, he took selfie videos at every possible opportunity, starting with him at the airport, getting ready to get on his flight.
I'm here at the airport. I'm about to board my flight for San Salvador. The goal of this mission is to let the Trump administration, to let the government of El Salvador know that we are going to keep fighting to bring Abrego Garcia home.
My God.
Until
he is
returns
home
to his family.
Yeah.
I hope to meet with representatives of the government. I hope to have the chance to actually see Kilmar and see what his condition is. But we are going to keep fighting because this is a miscarriage of justice. The Supreme Court has ruled 9-0, that he was illegally taken out of the country and put in a prison in El Salvador. And this is about due process. This is about rule of law. What bullies do is they begin by picking on the most vulnerable. But if we get rid of the rule of law and due process in the United States, it's a short road from there to tyranny.
This guy is such a sack of crap. He is just a sad, sorry sack of crap is what he is.
Absolutely right.
Wow.
And then he landed. And so naturally on his way from the airport to, I guess, the prison, he had to make another video.
I just landed at the airport in San Salvador a little while ago. I'm now en route into the city.
Looking forward to meeting with the team from the American Embassy. As I've said before, the goal of my visit is to talk to people here about the release of Abrego Garcia. I told his wife and his family I would do everything possible to bring him home, and we're going to keep working at this until we're successful. I also hope to have the chance to meet with him, but we'll have a better idea if that works out a little later on.
I'm so disgusted by him. Meanwhile, there are, homeless veterans and American kids that are like constituents of him, and he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. I cannot stand this guy.
A few hours later.
Here we go.
He reported on what happened. The VP of El Salvador said, no, you don't get to see him. You don't get to talk to him. We don't want you here. Goodbye.
So, I said, I'm not interested at this moment in taking a tour of CCOT. I just want to meet with Mr. Abrego Garcia.
Oh my God.
He said he was not able to make that happen. So I asked him if I could get on the phone, either video phone or just a phone, and talk to Mr. Abrego Garcia. So I could just ask him how he's doing so I could report back to his family. He said he could not arrange that. He said maybe if the American Embassy were to ask, maybe that could happen. We have an unjust situation here.
So we paid for that. So we paid for him to go to El Salvador just for shits and giggles. Like he just went and he had fun.
We'll probably pay for Cory Booker and another Kodak.
Cory Booker. But it shows how stupid he is. Cause he could have like looked at this stuff before he got on a plane. He could have asked about this. He could have maybe tried to reach the vice president before he got there. I mean, he did this. Yes, Coaster. He did this just to grandstand because he's a narcissist. So you could have figured all this out via phone a couple days ago, rather than have the American taxpayer foot the bill for your little joyride to El Salvador. What a douchebag.
And imagine if he used that same level of effort at retrieving actual American hostages from Gaza. He doesn't care about them. He cares about an illegal MS-13 gang member. Mm-hmm. That's who he's expending all this energy for. It's incredible.
That's the Democrat Party, Mock. That's who they are. Mm-hmm.
Well, we mentioned that Pam Bondi said that they were releasing additional information. People keep asking for evidence that he's an MS-13, or worse, they say there is no evidence that he's an MS-13. And it just so happens that there is a lot. So this is from the police report who found Abrego Garcia amongst a whole bunch of other MS-13 gang members. And during his interview, it was observed that Garcia was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and hoodie with rolls of money covering the eyes, ears, and mouth of the presidents on the separate denominations. Officers know that such clothing is indicative of that Hispanic gang culture. The meaning of the clothing is to represent I don't even know how to say it in Spanish, but see no evil, hear no evil, say no evil. Wearing the Chicago Bulls hat represents that they are a member in good standing with MS-13. Officers contacted a past, proven, and reliable source of information who advised that Garcia is an active member of MS-13 with the Western Clique. The confidential source further advised that he is a rank of Chicao with that moniker of Chele.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'd say that they have plenty of evidence. He was with them. He was wearing the gear. And then they have a reliable informant who confirmed, oh, yeah, he's not only in it, he's an active member. He's got this rank. Come on. How much more is needed?
I cannot believe the amount of time we're spending on this one dude. I just can't
incredible.
believe the outrage over one dude. And it's because of the media, the frenzy that they're trying. They're trying to, Trump had a mandate. We gave him a mandate to get these people the hell out of our country.
Yep.
Tens of millions of people were brought in here unvetted. And then we were like, okay, get them out, because we're spending money on these people. There's a lot of crime. There are people dying. There are women getting raped. Get them out. And so he gets into office, he starts doing it. And this is the response. This is what they're doing. This is the media doing what they do. Let's take this one guy and try to make him into some wonderful family man. it is the biggest crock of crap. I mean, it is smoke and mirrors, just like COVID. Honestly, they are trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, and dumb people buy it. They buy this garbage. They're like, oh, he's such a great family man. He loves his wife. He loves his kids. He's just so wonderful. No, he's not. I cannot believe the amount of time that is being spent on this one guy.
And the amount of energy that Democrats place in him and in a cause that is, again, not even an 80-20 cause. It's probably at this point a 90-10 cause. And they're like, let me just hang on to that 10.
Right.
It's so ridiculous.
And the 10 are idiots.
Right. Karoline Leavitt held a presser and she invited Patty Morin to that presser, and she spoke. We're going to play a little bit of it, but not too much, especially of the more gruesome parts where she described what happened to her daughter. It's unbearable. She had a whole bunch of people in absolute tears. Here is Karoline, though, kind of summarizing why they were there before the introduction of Patty.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia is an illegal alien, MS-13 gang member, and foreign terrorist who was deported back to his home country. And when Kilmar Abrego Garcia was originally arrested, he was wearing a sweatshirt with rolls of money covering the ears, mouth, and eyes of presidents on various currency denominations. This is a known MS-13 gang symbol of hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. Abrego Garcia was also arrested with 2 other well-known members of the vicious MS-13 gang. And 2 separate judges found that Abrego Garcia was a member of MS-13, and that finding has never been disputed. And just this morning, it was revealed through Maryland court documents that Abrego Garcia's wife petitioned for an order of protection against him for 2 instances of domestic violence in May of 2021. And here is the order right here.
She's so pissed.
The court ordered that the respondent committed the following acts of abuse. Once in May of 2021, assault in any degree. And on May 4th of 2021, he punched and scratched his wife, ripped off her shirt, and grabbed and bruised her. So not only are Democrats rushing to defend an illegal criminal foreign terrorist gang member, but also an apparent woman beater. To set all of that aside, the basic fact that he was illegally inside our country and had a lawful deportation order made him subject to removal back to his home country of El Salvador.
Feels like.
Yep.
I mean, why do we have to say these things?
Well, I mean, they would have defended OJ too, right?
God.
I can't at this point. There is such a stark contrast between us at this point. And so much of it has to do with the fact that they just hate Orange Man. I don't
totally.
I mean, because I have to believe that, because if they are defending people who are in freaking MS-13 who beat their wives, because why? It has to. If it's not because you hate Trump, then it's just because you're a really terrible person. I don't know what to do with you.
And neither does Patty. I mean, Patty Morin is just absolutely baffled that the first order of business for this administration, or for Democrats, because we know that this administration is all America first. They are all in on America first. She cannot understand, and I get it. She cannot understand how that is not also true for Democrats. Here she is.
To carry a baby in your womb, or to feel those first kicks, or to know just intuitively if it's a boy or a girl. It's only a thing that a mother knows. Why are we not protecting the American citizens? It's just common sense. Why are we not protecting our children? And to have a senator from Maryland who didn't even acknowledge or barely acknowledged my daughter and the brutal death that she endured, leaving her 5 children without a mother and now a grandbaby without a grandmother, so that he can use my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador to bring back someone that's not even an American citizen.
So her testimony,
oh God.
It was, if you are a parent or a grandparent and you haven't heard it, it's the hardest thing to listen to. I can't even imagine what she has been through. I can't imagine what her daughter went through.
Oh God. I mean, it's just horrific. That's why I couldn't even play that clip, because I was like, I can't listen.
We can't.
This is like watching Schindler's List more than once. I can only do that one time, and I cannot do it again.
Totally agree with you, Mock. It's just unbelievable. And I cannot believe that Democrats would hear that and then be like, yeah, let's go get this guy. Let's fight for an MS-13. Let's fight for an MS-13 guy to come back into our country. What the hell is wrong with you?
I do not know. There was also this amazing moment when they were leaving the podium, where she turned back around and had a message straight to the press.
We'll see you all later. The president will be at his dinner later this evening. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Ms. Morin. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Please, I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you. Please tell the truth. Tell the truth. Yeah. Tell how violent it really is. This is about protecting our children. It's more than just politics or votes or just anything. It's about national security, protecting Americans, protecting our children. Thank you. And thank you for listening.
God bless her.
I know. What a moment, man. What a moment.
I hope they listened to her. I hope to God that they internalized that and went home and just had
some self-reflection for once.
I hope, even if just for 5 minutes, they thought about her and internalized that a little bit. Yeah. Tell the damn truth.
Yeah. There was also the sweet moment that she had with Trump in the Oval Office.
Beautiful. Call a dear friend. She's a beautiful woman. She's been through hell. She's been through hell, right?
Oh, yes.
Your daughter's looking down proud of you. You know that. Just keep it going.
I know.
Keep it going.
It's like you said.
Stay with that one.
It's like you said, we have a purpose.
It's a purpose. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
She's proud of you.
God bless him.
Sweet.
It's very sweet. God, it's so hard for me to watch.
I know. So let's have some Scott.
Let's do it.
Jennings, who of course has the thoughts on this entire Democrat debacle.
Happy to hear the congressman say they're all going to El Salvador. I think for Republicans, this just confirms what we have believed about the Democratic Party and why it currently has a 21% approval rating in Congress. Look where the energy in the Democratic Party is. It's around retrieving illegal aliens from El Salvador. It's around fighting for these college campuses that have been rife with anti-Semitism. It's around biological males who want to play in girls' sports. This is why they are losing to Donald Trump every day, because the energy that Democrats feel comes on all these issues that are fundamentally not where the American people are.
Yep. He's 100% spot on.
100%. 100%.
Keep
100%.
Keep dying on that. Keep dying on that hill, Democrats. Keep dying on it.
Yeah, I guess that's what they intend to do. So, and they are also trying to die on this hill of having men in women's sports. I will never understand it, but Maine and Janet Mills, the governor there, they're just insistent that they want girls to suffer at the hands of men and boys. And it makes no sense. And Pam Bondi is sick and tired of it. So she announced yesterday that they are suing the state of Maine over all of this nonsense. Here she is.
Girls in girls sports. Well, if one young woman is in jeopardy, that's enough for us to be standing up here. No boy will be undressing in a girl's locker room. No boy will be walking in a woman's restroom. And no boy, when we're finished with this, will be beating young girls in sports. These young women many of them have trained, since you were in elementary school for your sport? Riley, when did you start swimming? 4 years old. They have trained their entire lives. Some of them have lost scholarships. They have lost regionals. They have lost state because of boys. I don't care if it's 1. I don't care if it's 2. I don't care if it's 100. It's going to stop, and it's going to stop in every single state.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope she's right. Do it, Pam. You know, I want to believe that this is true, because I've got a sweet baby girl that is a swimmer and I better never see it. She better never face this, because, oh my God, I will be no idea. Like, I just
don't have an idea.
Oh, God, this subject enrages me. This shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. This is common sense stuff, you guys. Boys should not be overtaking girls in women's sports. What are we doing? This is common sense.
That is something that Democrats lack. Riley, as you saw, was there to weigh in on her own experience, and here is a little bit of what she had to say.
I'm sure you guys saw the clips and the visuals that surfaced following President Trump's executive order signing of this EO, barring men from participating in women's sports within any educational program that receives federal funding. And it was the most amazing thing to be there. And you have all of these young girls. I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. They've got their jerseys on, their sports uniforms, their big bows in their hair that they wear on the soccer field. That visual means more to me than I could possibly put into words, and that is what is at stake here. That is who Governor Mills is fighting, not Donald Trump. It's those little girls, and I believe that's sick.
She is 150% correct.
And the fact that Janet Mills is using that ridiculous justification, well, it's only this many people.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that people are using that as a way to defend this. Yep. That's freaking crazy. Mm-hmm. Like Pam said, one is too many. One is too many.
Yep.
She was on Fox and they played her, Janet Mills, responding to this lawsuit because, of course, she's pushing back and she's mad, and good for her.
Maine, she plans to push back. This is what she said.
Because there are maybe at most two transgender athletes competing in Maine schools right now, they decided to shut off funding. The law says if you don't like what a state or entity is doing over here, you can't take their funds away over here.
Is she wrong?
Yeah, she's very wrong. First, to say only two is shocking. We gave two examples, but these aren't transgender. First of all, these are boys in a girl's locker room. One is too many.
Yep.
It's ridiculous what she said, and doesn't just affect one young woman. It affects the entire team, the entire sport within that school. These young women are not being able to compete because of a boy. The boy in 2024 came in 43rd in his category in track and field. Yet, when he competed in the women's sport, he won. You know, Governor Mills shouldn't have said that, shouldn't have done this, should be supporting women in the state of Maine, and we're going to fight for him if they're not.
They're cheaters. They're losers, and they're cheaters who decide to go and become girls so they can dominate. These are loser boys. And the parents of these boys, who are you? What are you teaching them? Oh, you can't make it as a boy? So become a girl and then go beat the shit out of these girls. It's that easy. It is that easy. And then all these adults in the room are like, oh yeah, you can do that because we have to appease the 1% or whatever. Not okay. Not okay.
Not okay. And yesterday we talked about those two dads that a judge said you can't wear wristbands that have XX on them because how dare you suggest that it's okay to talk about women having actual woman chromosomes? You can't do that. And so Harmeet Dillon, who of course now is part of all the civil rights stuff, she tweeted about this yesterday. I was so glad to see this. Am I frozen?
No.
Am I frozen?
You're not. No, you're not. You're not. Nope.
Okay.
No.
Am I not? Why is it not going up to the...
You're not frozen.
There we go. Okay. For some reason, it wasn't going up there. But anyway, she talked about that case and said this ruling is unconstitutional and will not stand. Civil rights is examining this closely. Every father has not only a right, but a duty to stand up for his daughters. And the right to free speech is not curtailed by subjective feelings.
Hell to the yes.
Really glad to see that. Really glad to see that.
And sue them. Get them where they hurt. Get them in the checkbook, especially these schools. Sue the crap out of, lawyer up, get a class action suit, get a bunch of dads together and get them in the pocketbook. That's what we have to start suing these people. Seriously, I would. I'd be like, oh, really? I can't wear this wristband? F you. I'm going to get some money from you.
Well, you're going to love this dad. He's wearing a girl dad baseball cap, and he's directly responding to Leah Thomas, who, you know, of course, is one of the most famous of these boys that has that competed against Riley Gaines. And Leah is saying all this crazy nonsense, and the girl dad is responding point by point, and it's just a beautiful thing. You will love him.
They're like, oh, we respect Leah as a woman, as a trans woman, whatever. We respect her identity.
I don't respect you as a woman. You're a man.
We just don't think it's fair. You can't really have that sort of half support where you're like, oh, I respect you as a woman here, but not here.
Leah Thomas is actually right about this. We shouldn't lie to him over here and say he's a woman when he's not. And then over here in sports, tell him he can't play in the women's category. We should be consistent and just say, you're not a woman.
They're using the guise of feminism to sort of push transphobic beliefs.
No, we're just stating reality, and it's not transphobic to state reality.
And I think a lot of people in that camp sort of carry an implicit bias against trans people.
No, just bias towards the truth because the lie harms everyone.
But don't want to, I guess, fully manifest or speak that out. And so they try to just play it off as this sort of half support.
They think about how twisted feminism, quote unquote, feminism has become. Their arguments, you know, in order to exclude anybody in the trans category, you have to reduce women to reproductive capacity.
No, it's not just about who can have a baby. It's about anatomical differences. Men typically have higher muscle mass, bone density, and testosterone levels, enhancing their strength. Men have larger hearts and lungs that support greater oxygen capacity, all of which gives them advantages in performance.
I can't believe this has to be said.
I don't reduce my womanhood just merely to reproductive capacity either. There's a lot more to it than that. And you ain't it, Leah.
No, not even close.
Nope.
There was a speck of hope coming out of the UK yesterday, and that is that their Supreme Court ruled that a woman is defined as biological sex under their Equality Act of 2010. So that is causing a lot of reaction all over the UK, and I'm sure it's going to result in some changes that have to take place with facilities, for example, that are allowing trans women to enter them right now. I don't know how that's going to shake out, but this was a positive step in the right direction that we saw yesterday. And then at the same time, here's what's going on in Canada, which I find absolutely hilarious, and I welcome lots more of it. Their immigration lawyers say that they're overwhelmed with trans asylum requests from the US.
Okay.
So yes, trans people, by all means.
Bye.
Go to Canada.
Go play your sports there.
Right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
One of the most disgusting, creepy, horrible people in the trans community is Jeffrey Marsh. And we've played videos of him before. He claims to be non-binary. He's a dude who just likes to wear makeup. He's disgusting on so many levels.
Children. He preys on children.
Yeah, he's always like talking about going no contact with parents.
Right.
He's gross. There's this old video that you're going to see of him first where he's demanding respect, which is not something that you get to demand from anybody. But what's interesting is that then there was this montage that I saw where he's included in it because he's talking about how it's okay for the trans community to be angry, that they should show their anger. And then that's interplayed with a lot of trans people showing their anger, which they do in often violent ways. It was put together, I find out at the end, by our friends at XXXY and their clothing brand. So I'm just going to let all of this run together. First, the respect video and then the montage. Here it is. Here we go.
Let me tell you something about LGBTQ rights, about trans rights. This is only going in one direction. You will respect us.
No.
Nope.
No.
You can be upset. You can be angry. You can think it's unfair. You can feel like we're stealing something from you. But it's still only going in one direction.
No.
You will respect us.
Okay.
Nope.
Angry.
Get out of my face now!
It's okay to be angry.
If you try to stop me from going into a woman's bathroom,
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
be the last mistake you ever make.
It is ma'am.
Find that anger.
Just because. Hey!
Harness it to do good in the world. This anger.
You're done, man. We can just make a batch and say that some of us
Anger is probably my primary source of motivation.
You want to call me sir again?
The thing is, you don't have to leave.
You will move. Lose your bitch.
For everything that I do.
Go out, buy a gun.
Cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
I'll you up.
It was a call to action or a call to arms.
It's sir! Sorry, man.
Don't be afraid to show your anger.
The answer is no.
Hey. That was good stuff from the folks at the Truth Fits. Wow.
Right.
Wowzers. I'm sick of this conversation. Sick and tired of it because it is such a common sense thing. It's sex is binary.
Right.
Can we just stop? Enough already.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sick at people catering to the freaking crazy, to mental illness. Just stop it. And stop kowtowing. So this is what pisses me off is so many parents are so afraid to say anything. I don't want to say anything because I'm afraid, they're going to like call me transphobic. So what?
Right. We've already been called everything there is
Who
to be called.
cares? Like maybe you should speak up for your kid. There's a, I don't know, concept right there. Yeah.
In other news, RFK came out yesterday to speak about some new findings that they've had about autism, and he wanted to talk about the things that he, as human health and human services director, will be doing to combat this rise in the rates of autism. And amazingly, people are angry about this for the dumbest reason, which we'll explain in just a second. First, you're going to see him talk about the increased prevalence of autism. It's pretty alarming.
The ASD prevalence rate in 8-year-olds is now 1 in 31. Shocking. There's an extreme risk for boys. Overall, the risk for boys of getting an autism diagnosis in this country is now 1 in 20.
Oh my gosh.
And as high in California, which has the best data collection. So it probably also reflects the national trend, 1 in 12.5 boys.
Oh my gosh, I cannot.
This is part of an unrelenting upward trend. The prevalence 2 years ago was 1 in 36.
That's alarming. That 2 years ago, it was that much higher. And now, I mean, lower, I guess, if you want to,
Right.
you know what I mean?
1 in 12.5?
Crazy.
In the world is going on.
So you would think that people would be very interested in finally figuring out what the hell is going on.
It's a
right?
That's a public health crisis right there.
Yeah. And you would think that everybody, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, and keep in mind, this is a Democrat, but like no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you would be in favor of a whole bunch of research going to figure out what the hell is going on. But people don't like it because it's RFK Jr. Regardless, here is what he and his agency are doing.
Then you have to ask yourself, why is it so pervasive? Why has it been thrown up against us for so many years? And clearly there are industries. This is coming from an environmental toxin. And somebody made a profit by putting that environmental toxin into our air, our water, our medicines, our food. And it's to their benefit to say, to normalize it. To say, this is all normal, it's always been here. But that's not good for our country. And it's not good for the press to not be more inquisitive, to not be more skeptical.
Right.
And within 3 weeks, and probably we're hoping in 2 weeks, we're going to announce a series of new studies.
Good.
To identify precisely what the environmental toxins are that are causing it. This has not been done before. And we're going to do it in a thorough and comprehensive way. And we're going to get back to with an answer to the American people very, very quickly.
So
guys,
you would think that that would be good news, right? The problem is that within those same remarks, he talked about how devastating of a diagnosis autism can be. Now, you know, in its extreme cases, you're dealing with kids who will grow up to have no meaningful way of having a quality of life. They won't get married. They won't have jobs. They may not even be able to take care of themselves physically. That's worst case scenario. There's nothing wrong with him pointing that out. And yet the reaction on Twitter, and I saw this so many times, I could not believe it. The reaction on Twitter was like this idiot, Marlo Stern, says, the way RFK talks about people with autism is disgusting.
Why is it disgusting?
Because there were moms out there who were like, well, my kid holds a job. My kid plays sports. My autistic kid does this and that. My kid. Not recognizing that some parents have kids that don't. And it's okay to receive that. I could not believe how personally people were taking this. It was so dumb.
It's kind of like parents of kids with CP, right? There are different levels of
absolutely
of cerebral palsy. You have a child that has that, and then some people will think that Thomas is capable of doing certain things when he's not. But there are other kids with CP that can do things that Thomas can't. So
absolutely. And I would never be mad at them pointing out worst case scenario, even if Thomas was walking around and talking. You know what I mean? Like you just recognize that in its extreme forms, autism can be a devastating diagnosis. It's not always, but it can be. And shouldn't we all care about the worst outcomes and wanting to fix that?
You would think. But listen,
my God.
I think that there are a lot of people that just want to be perpetually outraged, Ma.
Yeah,
no matter
clearly.
what. I mean, you're especially on social. That's all they do is they sit at home and they wait. What can I be pissed off about today? I'm just going to make my comment and be perpetually outraged and then move on with my useless day. This is what they do.
God.
You know,
it's just so dumb. It's so dumb.
It is dumb. I love that he's pointing this stuff out. I love that he's in the position that he's in because you guys 1 in 12.5. What?
Everybody should be alarmed by that. Everybody.
I mean, does that mean that in like 5 years it's going to be 1 in 3?
I mean, at this rate,
that's where my brain goes.
Yeah, it should.
What the hell? Yeah.
Well, and I love too that he called out the media for not being more inquisitive, which kind of leads to this next ridiculous clip. So you remember how Jim Acosta got fired and then he started his own
podcast
show?
Oh, it's a variety show. He does like
it's kind of like a variety. Right. So because he is interested only in having the very best, most credible guests, he had himself a show with Michael Cohen and Don Lemon. And so Don Lemon decided to take that opportunity to bitch about how the right forms a daily narrative that starts with Fox News. This is so unself-aware that I almost couldn't believe it, especially because it is freaking Michael Cohen and Jim Acosta sitting next to him. Listen to this nonsense.
What people have to realize, and this is a big thing for me, so please let me get this out, especially when it comes to the media. I think we have to teach Americans, teach people to become more media literate. What Donald Trump does is a show. Every single day, you have to realize from morning until the end, till midnight, it's a show that is produced like a television show every single day. And so when in the
pretty
morning,
shitty one, but yes,
pretty shitty one. In the morning, they give the message on Fox and Friends. And then they carry it all throughout the day on Fox News. And then they carry it on conservative radio throughout the day, saying the same talking points. Then Karoline Leavitt goes into the briefing room. She yells at the reporter. She does something.
You guys don't like Karoline Leavitt, is that?
They cover it, right?
Come on, you don't like bullshit, Barbie.
Oh. But real quick, let me finish. They cover it, and then they get to spin the news cycle. What he's doing all day is spinning the news cycle.
Yeah.
I can't.
They never, because you're right. I mean, the left doesn't do that. The constitutional crisis, a threat to democracy, those aren't spun narratives. It's like they don't get talking points, you guys. All the cursing that they're doing now, no, it's not a spun
It's totally
narrative.
organic. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everything that's going on with Abrego Garcia's wife right now, not a spun narrative at all. No, it's all.
Wow.
It's all organic, you guys. Make no mistake. Okay.
And one of the narratives from the left is that all of us Trump voters now regret our vote. You've heard that a billion skillion times, right? And yet Nerdy Guy that we always rely on for his polling on CNN begs to differ.
About Trump voters and how they feel. Do they regret their vote?
I mean, this is the big question, right? I hear all these stories, all these articles, all the Trump voters, they regret what they did back in 2024. I'm here to tell you, very few of them regret what they did back in 2024. What are we talking about? Trump voters looking back at 2024. We got a new poll out. The poll was conducted this month. What percentage would change their vote to a different candidate? We're talking just 2%, just 2%. That's not even a wide spot on the road. And then there's this additional 1% who say they would rather not vote.
You know, if I could vote even harder, I would vote even harder now. You know what I mean?
You would vote so hard.
I would vote extra hard. Oh,
yeah, we have no regrets. No regrets over here, you guys. Not a single regret. I'm hoping at some point, though, that the chicks who went into space start having some regrets about how they've behaved since they landed back on Earth, because they are out of control. And we've talked about it a lot this week. We're going to play one more clip of Gayle King justifying their ridiculous behavior, but then we're going to have people making fun. And that is the best thing that has come out of this, is all of the videos of people ripping this crew to shreds. It's absolutely delicious. But first, we're going to kick it off with Gayle, who is big mad, you guys, big mad about all the criticism.
Please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, you have never said to an astronaut, boy, what a ride. You know,
you're not an astronaut.
The same trajectory that Alan Shepard did back in the day, pretty much. No one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey, because a ride implies that it's something frivolous or something that's lighthearted. There was nothing frivolous about what we did, and the machine that we were on, and what it took for the people to get that machine up and running, to get us up and get us back down safely. So, you know, I'm very disappointed and very saddened by it. And I also say this, what it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that.
Okay.
I've had so many women and young girls reach out to me, and men too, by the way, men too, that say, wow, I never thought I could do that, but I see you doing it at this stage of my life. Who would have thunk it?
No, she's lying. They have not reached out. No young girls or women have reached out saying, oh my God, I want to be an astronaut now because of you, because she's not an astronaut. That's
Katy Perry is referring to herself as an astronaut now.
Oh my God. I can't. The fact that real women astronauts don't get coverage and these chicks, these morons do, that enrage. It just shows you where we are as a culture. Like the narcissism of these chicks is just, it's at another level. It's at such another
whole other level.
It's just, and how did they know they weren't going to get mocked? How? It's because they have zero self-awareness.
Right.
It's just, it's again, a microcosm for where we are in our country. It's just like, I am an astronaut. Look at my boobs.
And I think we may have mentioned this yesterday, but they were talking about, well, I mean, you can't possibly understand it unless you go yourself, not recognizing the fact that just regular people cannot go. People who are not sleeping with Jeff Bezos and who are not friends with people who are sleeping with Jeff Bezos cannot just up and go. So Gayle King said that. There's a little clip of her saying that, and then a guy responding, and it's perfect.
Not me. And how inspired they are. I wish people would do more due diligence. And then my question is, have y'all been to space? Have you been to space? Go to space or go to Blue Origin and see what they do and how they do. And then come back and say, this is a terrible thing.
Y'all really cannot help yourselves, can you? You cannot stop talking about this insane space flight. No, Gayle, we haven't been to space. You want to know why? Because we are not engaged to the billionaire owner of the rocket ship company. We're not best friends with a billionaire, and we are not global pop stars. So no, we can't just go to Blue Origin and check it out. Y'all are really gonna make me lose my mind. Go to space and see what it's like. Give me a break.
Yeah, the amount of unrelatability in these broads.
No, I know, right?
It is. Again, it's next level. Like they'll never understand. And that's why they're being mocked, and they'll never understand it, because they are the chicks who are either boinking billionaires or they're friends of the chick who's boinking the billionaire. It's just so stupid what we're doing. It's just, and they set women back.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's an embarrassment. It's
It
absolutely
is.
an embarrassment to share a gender with these clowns.
It is.
And this dentist, this hilarious dentist that I follow on all the socials, had this to say about their space journey.
It's not space. It's not space.
So true.
Stop saying they went to space.
And they didn't go to space.
They went really high in the air
right.
in a giant vibrator. That's what they did. All right.
It's a dong. It's a huge dong. Like that again. They did like a bunch of women in like skin tight outfits. It's like Bezos's harem of space bimbos and a giant dildo. That's what it was. It's, Elon's like, why didn't I think of this first?
Right.
God dang it. Like just competition between billionaires.
And then this chick absolutely cracks me up all the time, but her making fun of these morons is my new favorite thing. Check this out.
Feel love. Like live, laugh, love, but like the rich version of it. I hope everyone sees how unified we were.
Right.
When we all made a decision to go to space in full glam. All you need is love. Love lifts us up where we belong.
It's so
I hope that in seeing us make the decision to spend that kind of money to leave Earth, that everyone else understands you're not like us. We weren't just going to space, we were making space.
Right.
For all of you to watch us do something you can't do. This is what women need right now.
Right.
I just feel like we did something that mattered in a time when this didn't matter.
Yeah. I'm just relieved that they know what a woman is. That's nice.
That's a great point. I can't believe they didn't take a trans woman to just put that little extra dollop of woke on it.
Right. It's like Katy Perry's like, I actually know what a woman is. Look at me. Bravo.
Oh my God. I love all of these videos.
Yeah.
It's so great.
God.
I have a very interesting love story to share with you for the beginning of my Pillow Toks today.
Really?
And it is a love story caught in 4 photos by none other than my own husband, who went out onto our porch the other day and saw these 2 little ones. Okay.
Oh yes.
So these guys were on it's a couple. I hope this is not like a homosexual lizard couple.
We're not assuming their gender. We don't assume that.
But I'm amazed that he caught these photos. This is absolutely incredible. So this is the first photo that he took. And then this is the second. You can see whatever is going on there.
He's trying to show her how hot he is. That's
right.
He's trying to mate with her.
He's showing her look.
Are you going to show us lizards getting it on? Is that what you're going to do?
I might.
You guys hide your kids, hide your wives.
It's not, it's just biology, you guys. It's nothing wrong. There's nothing inappropriate. But look at what he does with his, whatever that part is. He's doing the things.
His throaty throat. Mm-hmm.
So, she's interested, right? And he comes a little bit closer and he's like, hey, look at my big throat thing. You know what I'm saying?
Lizard porn. That's what we're watching right now. Here we go.
Of course, this story culminates in this loving moment.
Oh, why are we watching this?
I just can't believe he got it on camera.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing?
I think you guys should pay extra for this. Honestly.
Anyway, I just thought it was really cool. I love these little lizards. I love them. And I love their little romance.
You guys didn't think when you woke up this morning you were going to see lizard porn.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the Chicks on the Right show.
So welcome.
Welcome. Mm-hmm.
Also, you may want to continue to hide your kids, hide your wives, and just put off breakfast for a little bit. Not that there's anything actually gross about what you're going to see, because there's not. This is a prank, and I find it absolutely hilarious. So these women all over Instagram and TikTok have decided to do this prank whereby they take a Q-tip, they smear a little bit of peanut butter on the Q-tip, and then they get into the bathroom where their husbands are and pretend that they just dug out that from their ear.
Yes. And the husbands are like, oh,
the
my
reactions
gosh.
of the husbands are amazing. Okay.
Yes.
They're just so funny. So keep in mind, it's not earwax. Okay. It's just peanut butter. I died laughing when I saw this montage. Absolutely died laughing.
What are you doing? You need to get a Q-tip. Oh.
When's the last time you cleaned your ears?
A long time ago.
12 years ago? 13? That's gross. What? Come on! What are you doing? That's disgusting. Brianna!
My ear.
That was not in your ear.
It's out of my ear.
I threw it so much. Oh my god!
What now? You're eating it. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? It's disgusting.
I threw so much on the side.
He's like, oh. I gotta do that.
Oh my
To see what
God,
Greg does, I gotta do it. I have to see what Greg does. That's fantastic in every way.
Oh my God. All right. Now this child, again, hide your wives and your children, please. Okay. Because there is some cursing going on all up in here. And it's coming from this darling, precious child. I don't know why he says this, but I love that the caption says, getting home to open that package you've been waiting for from Temu. Here is this little precious angel.
It's it. Hey, what the fuck?
My God.
God, that child. I love
He shouldn't
that
be
child.
saying that. He should not be saying that. Should not.
I'm sure that that was just accidentally overheard and
I'm
not
sure.
something the parents say on the
Should
regular.
never, ever be saying that. And you shouldn't be buying things from Temu. Okay?
No, absolutely
All right,
not.
everybody.
Also, I don't know if you know this about cats, but lots of cats do not like it when you make fun of them. Like if you
Oh my God, I
imitate
need
them.
one. I've got to get one and make fun of it immediately.
Well, it's particular like when you imitate what they're
Yes.
doing. Oh, they get so
I
mad.
have to do this. I have to.
Well, here's what might happen if you do.
It's the second I get it.
Oh my gosh. They are mean.
And they don't want to be licked back,
They're
whatever you do.
So mean, and I love it. I need one, you guys.
Okay, last one. This I so relate to this girl. So she found a story about bees that she thought was amazing, and her reaction to it is exactly my reaction. Only I actually welled up a little bit. Like I got a little bit of a well going on when I heard this precious story about bees.
I have some very good news. Researchers discovered that bumblebees enjoy playing. What do you mean? Researchers set up this experiment where they gave bees access to two paths. One of them had food and the other had these wooden balls, and there was no food associated with the wooden balls, and they would just choose to play with them instead of get food. Obviously not all of the bees chose the wooden balls, but they did notice that younger bees were choosing to play more frequently than they were choosing to get food, which might be the cutest thing I've ever heard in my life. There was no practical benefit of them doing this, which means that they just enjoyed doing it. what? And they also found that bees that had interacted with the wooden balls previously were more likely to come back and play again because they had such a good time.
God bless them. We should all learn from bees and the wooden balls.
That's amazing.
Right?
Isn't that the most amazing story?
I know what I'm getting you now for your birthday. It's a giant wooden ball. That's what I'm getting her. Giant ass wooden ball.
Oh my God, I love that story so much. All right, we have some thank yous to give from yesterday, and this comes from the Ball Pit crew. Living the Gen Life said, I just ordered glucose support from Healthy Cell with code yes. Thanks, jerks, she said. Layla's Life said, Dad Joke Wednesday, what happened when Joe started the Dolly Parton diet? Jolene. Let's see. Kelly Weissman said, prayers for your boy Mock. Sad news in my local area. The bakery burned down yesterday. Yes, it is toast. Happy Dad Joke Wednesday. Jerk on the right. And then Diana Logsden said, the throaty pronunciation of Gaza is actually correct Arabic sound. It is a consonant that we don't have in English. And I'm sure that's true, but I just don't think Americans should be pronouncing it that way.
We don't like it.
I just don't.
I don't
it's
like it.
Weird. It's like, remember when AOC, what was the word that she constant? Oh, it was Venezuela. Remember how she would always...
I think Kira's going to write us. She every once in a while, she'll just write me in a text and put Venezuela. She'll just write that randomly. And I'm like, I
mean, because there's no reason for you're an American, you speak like with an American accent. There is no reason for you all of a sudden to go Gaza.
And
there's not.
You don't need to pronounce Venezuela with a B for no reason either. If you're American, just stop it. Venezuela.
Just cut it out for crying out loud.
All
Over
right.
on locals, Audrey Kraus 5 says, hello, Gail. You are not an astronaut. No astronaut giggles in space and acts like an idiot like those women did in their purple spacesuits. She should be embarrassed. OMG.
They also wear helmets and equipment, and they're in actual space. It was a ride. It was a carnival ride.
It wasn't even space. It was just like to the stratosphere and back. Boom.
Right. Exactly.
Roth Lady Wright said, a little extra for the lizard porn. I can't unsee, and I am totally going to clean my ears tonight. All right, now you.
Bo Mama 8. Oh my God. I would ask the same question of anyone that is for men and women's sports. Name 6 professional athletes because they never gave a crap about sports until it benefited their whack narrative.
Yep.
Yes, Bo Mama 8. Reba Henry, the Democrats know that this is wrong, but they want to stay in office and their votes mean more to them than the well-being of the American citizens. It's all about power. It is. It always is. Curio 23, read an article about autism might be caused by microbes from the gut leaking into the blood system. Got to wait for more research.
Probably research, yeah.
Research, yeah. Brian Brumley, say their names. Judith Resnick, Krista McAuliffe, Laurel Clark, Kaplana Chowula. They died for the cause. These entitled narcissistic bimbos insult their memory. I agree, Brian.
Totally.
Yep. Teresa Raimundo, you are not astronauts. People who got you up and down are like carnies loading you on a Ferris wheel. If you want to have a great effect on children, then you should have sent them in your place. Aaron Krieger, payment for lizard porn. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Jose Rodriguez, morning from Texas, y'all. It's too bad that giant peen rocket didn't evacuate what was inside once it reached its climax height. Just take my wad.
Everything about that is inappropriate and I love it.
I know, me too. It's as inappropriate as the lizard porn, Jose.
So great. So great.
All right, you guys, bring it in. We're bringing it in. I need to go to my post office today. I need to do that.
Should.
Tomorrow's Good Friday, you guys. I love Good Friday because it's good and it's
We
Friday.
will be here, by the way. I know there's a lot of companies and whatnot that are off, but we will be showing up as usual.
People were asking about that yesterday. And yes, we will absolutely be here with you guys. So everybody have a lovely Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.